Can we start over?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, scratch. That was first
Scratch
take.
that one. Take two.
Hey everybody, this is Jess Ewing from Audi Club Carolinas. I am here today with AJ Campo. We are going to be chatting about the Audi Club here in the Carolinas, as well as AJ herself. And we are going to focus on some topics specifically for women, with the upcoming Quattro magazine going to be a woman focused. So I thought it would be a good time to discuss things that are happening here in the Carolinas. AJ, please tell us who you are and where you come from.
Hey guys, I'm AJ. I came down to North Carolina back during COVID, originally from Long Island, New York, and met Jess shortly after moving down. She was heavily involved in the Carolinas chapter of the Audi Club and kind of pulled me in. So I have been volunteering for the Audi Club throughout the events, marketing, and sponsorship committees for the last couple of years, and then ran for the 2023 board elections and now sit as the secretary for the chapter, helping with operations and continued support over all of those various committees.
Can you tell us a little bit about your car enthusiast history and what got you involved with Audi in general?
So my family has been involved in motorsports and all things Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche since, before I can remember. So we did a lot of racing when I was younger. My father owned an Audi Volkswagen shop up on Long Island, New York. So I guess it was kind of just infused into me since day one.
Tell me what you're driving.
I'm driving a 2018 S3.
And what have you done to it? What kind of modifications do you have?
So a fair amount of modifications have taken place over the course of the last, year or so. I started with just some simple suspension work with 034, and then partnered with Dynamic Auto Tune and Unitronic this year, or late last year. We went ahead and did a stage 2 ECU TCU with all the supporting modifications. So intake, turbo inlet, intercooler, turbo back exhaust. I also partnered with Pete over at 529 Innovations, and he helped me build out my brake setup. So I have Wilwood 6-piston calipers on the front with Carbotech pads, stainless steel lines all around, and the 2-piece Giro disc, I think that's how you pronounce it, rotors. So oddly enough, we got to put those to the test this past week at the Audi Club Carolinas track day at Carolina Motorsport Park. Just awesome to see how the brakes really do, honestly save both cars plus potentially lives. Not necessarily that scenario, but it was awesome. So in terms of tires and wheels, I have Faster Skunk, one of my sponsors, to help me out with that at nearly every track day. We usually do a new speed wheel with the Falcon RT 660s tires for track. And then Faster Skunk also goes ahead and helps me out with my safety. So most recently supplying me with Schwartz Racing harnesses on both driver and passenger seat, so I can have coaches in the car with me if I want to as well. I know it probably sounds unusual to hear me talking about safety equipment when we're talking about car modifications, but it's actually really important to have those in place. The more modifications you do to your car, the faster you're going, the more performance you're getting out of it, the more safety equipment you're going to need in order to support what you're trying to do on the track. Thankfully, Rob over at Faster Skunk also introduced me to the Racing for ALS organization. They invited me to become one of their sponsored drivers this year and have provided me with a custom fitted fireproof race suit for all these events that we're doing this season. Racing for ALS hosts HPDE events throughout the course of the year to spread awareness of ALS and raise funds for research, clinical trials, and direct assistance to individual ALS patients in need. It's a really great organization. They're really impressive in all that they do, and they're super passionate about both motorsports and raising awareness for ALS. So if you'd like to know more or learn how to get involved, you can go to racingforals.com.
So I wanted to ask you, I know we just had our first track day of the year with Audi Club Carolinas, run by Rob. Thanks, Rob. And you had a lovely experience on track with an R8 and got to feel what those modifications and the safety equipment do for you. You want to tell us that?
I did, yeah. So it was super ironic. It was just a couple of days ago down at Carolina Motorsports Park. I was following an Audi R8 on track, who went off track a little bit in one of the turns and then kind of corrected and shot out right in front of me. Thankfully, I had just upgraded the brakes and was able to come to a quick stop so we didn't collide. However, it could have been a disaster. So between having my harnesses, my brakes, all the other equipment that the car is prepared with now, I feel like it was just good timing in terms of if something was going to happen, at least we were prepared for it.
I'm glad you had what you needed for that.
Yeah.
to not be in a bad circumstance.
Absolutely. So there is a video up on my Instagram at nomad_S3 if anyone wants to see it. It's included in the recap video of that event, and you can see how close we got to the Audi R8 at that time.
What is next for your S3?
Well, first and foremost, I don't know if it'll be done by the time this video is released or not with the timing, but it is getting a full livery wrap with all my sponsors on it, and I'm super excited. I haven't really told anyone about what it looks like yet, but it's going to be super fun and hopefully stand out, and I can't wait to show everybody. Second, in terms of like performance modifications, I'm kind of taking it like track day by track day. I'm still working on my own experience on track, and I think that my car is pretty much up to par with me. So I think as I progress, I'll be able to pinpoint what I need the car to do better or any changes that I need to make. So I don't know, it's kind of open-ended. I'm just keeping an open mind, and we'll see where it goes.
Give me a rundown of the different types of events that you participate in throughout the year.
A lot of different types of events, actually. I do a lot of HPDE days. I try to go out and support all of the Racing Fortuitously events, which are also HPDEs, but they have like a fundraising spin on them. So I think it's really great to prioritize those and make sure I'm there. I also attend and participate in the SCCA time trials within our region, and really everything else Audi Club does in the area. So whether it's mountain drives, rallies, brewery events, shop tours, anything that I can really get myself into, I'm there to show up, network, and hang out.
Speaking of Audi Club, give me some of your ideas around what your hopes are for the future and being involved in leadership, where you see us going direction-wise.
So I have to say, since joining the Audi Club Carolinas chapter in particular, I wouldn't necessarily say there's a lot of gaps or too many opportunities for improvement. I would say anything that I can suggest is just icing on the cake. So to that point, I would probably want us to host a couple more HPDE days throughout the course of the year, try to get more folks on the track so they're able to kind of really feel the engineering and performance of their cars. And then I guess really the most important thing to me is just going to be getting other females out there, whether they want to get on track, they want to socialize, they want to modify their cars, they just kind of want to come out and hang out and learn. Just really supporting other women to kind of pull them into the culture.
Which is a good introduction to, we run an Instagram page called Queens of Quattro. We're not on it and posting every day, but we are available to read messages and like and share and enjoy the tags that we find. Do you want to tell us a little bit about kind of what it is, and we can talk kind of about car girl culture and the stigma around that?
Yeah, that's a hot topic lately. Yeah, actually. So really what we're trying to do is leveraging the Audi Club Carolinas chapter, kind of have a branch off that specifically promotes and encourages women either in motorsport or just in the kind of enthusiast environment. Whether it's, kind of education or networking, making sure that, what we do from a chapter perspective is kind of still tailored and welcoming to females. I just want to make sure that we can get everyone involved that has a desire to be involved and kind of create that healthy, comfortable, safe environment.
AJ and I have had many conversations over the last few years about car girl culture, and just sometimes it can be difficult to be taken seriously and get the right type of attention. And there are people out there who do focus on the negative side of it and go for that negative attention. And we really want to promote other female women, ladies, any age, to get involved and not be afraid to introduce yourself, come out. If there's an event that you're not comfortable at or you didn't get the right vibe, That doesn't mean stay home. It just means come to another one, find something else. There is always a group out there that's going to be welcoming, and maybe you just haven't made that right connection yet. But we want to be a source where people can come to and promote that open-mindedness, because it's not uncommon for women to be held at a different education or level when it comes to, are you really truly a car enthusiast, or are you just showing up because you bought this cool car down the street recently? And having to show that you actually have that knowledge and that passion for learning about modifying, or knowing what you're talking about, or understanding, what the history is of a brand and things like that.
Or knowing how to drive on the track.
Knowing how to drive on the track. So, I guess we talked about kind of a call to action, and what we'd like to see that develop and continue to develop is just having women feel comfortable that they can come out and don't shy away from who you are. If you feel comfortable with bringing friends or joining up, then totally do that, or reach out to people, reach out to other women, reach out to us. If you're local, we'd love to have as many people as possible. And on the men's side of things, try to be a little more open-minded. Tell them about what happens a lot of times when you go places, and who do they talk to first about the car?
So whether it's at in the paddock at a track event, out of Cars and Coffee, even just kind of like taking a trip to the grocery store, I can literally be sitting in the driver's seat of my car, and someone will walk around to the passenger side to talk to my boyfriend about the car, or to say, wow, I can't believe you're letting her drive your car, type of thing. So men, I am calling you out.
It's like the curb wheel comments.
Yeah. It's frustrating and it's intimidating. And I think almost every woman really is familiar with the feeling, whether it's in the car enthusiast community or not. You have to just show up. You have to just be you. You have to be bold, and you can't let it get to you. That's it. Like, the more persistent that you are, the more you'll be seen as an enthusiast or as a driver.
What was the word you used earlier? Beast.
Yeah, I continue to be a beast in heels. Someone said that term to me a couple of weeks ago, and it's just kind of like stuck in the back of my head. So it's my new favorite thing. I'm a beast in heels. Jess is a beast in heels, right? So we are professionals during the day, and then we are beasts on the weekend.
After hours.
Right.
And that's the thing. I don't think, we talked about, it's little boys are pushed towards cars and matchboxes and all things car related at a very young age. And there's not enough of it for the girl side of things. I have a daughter. She loves cars. She helps detail the cars whenever we're doing stuff. Both my kids want to be involved and get around us and do car things. And we try to make all of our events that are not a brewery necessarily kid friendly. We want people to come out and not feel like they are having to stay home because there's one limitation or another. We want everyone to be as involved as they can be and as they want to be, and just make sure everyone feels welcomed. Is really what it comes down to.
Yeah. And I will share just a little bit of, maybe it kind of stems from our personal relationship, but my, I guess, internal vision for Queens of Quattro is for us to make it what Jess was for me when I first moved down. So she was a friendly face. She stuck her hand out. She introduced herself. She pulled me into the Audi Club. She pulled me into driving events. She didn't know me from a hole in the wall, but she can see my enthusiasm, and she supported it wholeheartedly, despite age, despite me being a female, maybe because I was a fellow female. But regardless, that's what I want it to be. Thankfully, I had Jess, and she showed up in the right place at the right time. And I want us to be that for all the other women out there.
Right. So if we don't know you and you're not local to us, but you want some conversation, whatever, have questions, feel free to message us on Instagram, or even find us on Facebook. We're very out there. It's not hard to find us. I'm happy to talk cars all day long with anybody, and I'll share whatever knowledge I can help, or give you any advice I can help, as long as I have some to provide you with. Let's segue into, what was your first drive with Audi Club?
My first drive with Audi Club was about 3 or 4 weeks after we met. I thought it was insane. She was like, "Hey, we're doing this thing called Tail the Dragon. Come out." I had never heard of Tail the Dragon before, but I did some like Google search, and I was like, "This looks like an awesome, curvy, fun, kind of touristy road." But I'm happy to come out. Jess didn't know that I could drive. She took a chance on me. I didn't know you could drive. I think by the end of the day, we kind of looked at each other and were like, did we just become best friends? You know? But it was great because I got to see, how the organization kind of puts an event like that together, creates a little bit of like a rally. We collaborated with other chapters. So I think Tennessee and Georgia came out. And now, oddly enough, full circle, we're heading back to that area this year in September for the 2023 Audi Club Nationals event at Fontana Village. So the Carolinas chapter will be hosting. We're going to have how many cars? 150? About 150 cars. Registration, I think, is already open.
Yes, msreg.com/Audi Club Nationals, and registration is live, and it will continue to be open until it's sold out, which closing date for registration and for hotel booking will be mid-July, which will be 60 days prior to the event happening.
So this is going to be huge, and now's the time to register, get involved, come out. It is not only driving that weekend. It's 3 or 4 days. There are some driving events, but there are also some sightseeing, other touristy things that we have lined up that we can do. You can choose to use free time to do your own thing. We have some social set up, dinners, lunches, a car show, and we'll have some vendors out there. So it's going to be a great time for everyone to kind of, whatever your interest is, come out, network with Audi Club members from all over the country, see what the Carolinas kind of have got going on with all our mountain roads.
Southern hospitality.
And we will be hitting, I don't know if I mentioned, we will be hitting Tail the Dragon as well. So if it's something you've always been looking forward to, you'll definitely have the opportunity that weekend.
Right. And explore what all that area has to offer and more. So we're looking forward to it. We're glad that everyone was able to, or anyone who is watching this, stayed with us this long to listen to us.
Thanks for listening to us blabber for so long.
And like we mentioned, if there's anything that we can do or the Carolinas can do, don't hesitate to ask. We're happy to help fellow enthusiasts get more involved, share whatever knowledge or direction we can help provide people with, because that's really what this club is all about. Is we come for the cars, we stay for the people. And I really believe that specifically for us, it's a big deal. And I want everyone to get involved, whoever wants to do so. And we don't technically require that you own or drive an Audi.
True, that's a plus.
So as long as you love them, and maybe you have hopes of one in the future, because many of us, we drool at cars all the time.
Porsche.
Yes, someday there will be a Porsche in my driveway. So there's nothing wrong with starting somewhere and growing from there as you learn. So thanks again, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.